Hello everyone, David and Richard here. It's another Ask the Broker. Today on Ask the Broker, we're going to talk about this. We talk about objections, we talk about this, we talk about that. This is one that kind of slips under the rug there and we don't talk about much, but how about buyer's remorse?
Wow.
You know, the average number of people that get buyer's remorse is 70%.
Wow.
That's pretty high. So us as realtors, maybe we better learn how to address that.
Yeah.
What one buyer's remorse do you have, David, and then how can we answer that for the realtors out there?
All right, the first buyer's remorse, and we're going to cover three of them today, is the payments are too high. We've ran our numbers, we thought we were good, but after talking to a lender, we just don't know if we can swing that monthly payment, or we don't want to. They're still approved for the payment, but maybe they're just scared of it. So,
Right.
you know, I remember buying my first house. I think the first house you buy is the hardest one to buy, just to get in to be a homeowner. And it's quite shocking because oftentimes it's a little bit higher than what you can rent a home for out in the marketplace. And your payment might be a few $100s more. But what's some things we can say to help ease that fear? The one thing I would say is, hey, your payments may seem high, but they are at a fixed term for 30 years. And if you were to look at the rent payments over the next 30 years, what direction do you think they're going to go? And you can show them a chart of the historical U.S. rents, and they're up and to the right on a chart.
Right.
So yes, their house payment might be higher than what they can rent for. However, in a short period of time, those rents are going to exceed what their payment will be. So, you know, it's just, it takes a little bit of adjusting, maybe a little bit of better budgeting at home, cutting out some things so you can relate to and get used to that higher payment. One thing I would suggest when it came to payment is practice making that payment ahead of time. The 3 months leading up to
Put the money on the side,
the purchase. Let's say your new house payment is going to be $3,000. Well, just pretend you're making that $3,000 payment each and every month for 3 months. Maybe you stock it away in a savings account or something. That way you get used to making that payment. So that's the first one. Richard, what's the second remorseful thing buyers have?
Well, you know, we're kind of going through it right now. The interest rates kind of tuck off on us a little bit, hit the sevens, you know, mid sixes, sevens. And a great answer for this, for you to give back to your buyer is, you know, you can buy this house now and get the house you want. And if the interest rates go down, you could just refinance it.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the house, you have nothing to refi. So don't wait for the rates to go down, because by then, who knows where the prices might be. So I'd say get into the house and you can refi whenever you want to, as long as you have something to refi.
Yeah, for sure. What's number two?
Number two, I bought too quickly.
Okay.
So I bought the house too quickly. Well, that fits for the market we're in right now, because you have to probably bid overprice. It's totally a seller's market. So you bid $20,000 over. You had to accept that they weren't doing any work to the house. Now with all those things, you know, that night you go to bed and you have a nightmare like, oh, I think I did this too quickly. I want to take a step back.
Yeah.
What would an answer be to that?
Well, I always tell people in an ultra-competitive market that you need to have patience, but also move very fast. And those kind of contradict one another, so let me explain it. You want to have patience in waiting for the right home to come on the market, just because there's not that many of them. So take the time to educate yourself on the areas, the prices of the areas, prices of the homes, where you want to be. But when the right house or homes come on the market, you got to move quickly to make a decision fast. You can't wait a week or two to see if you want to write an offer. So you got to be patient for the right home, but then move quickly to get it done.
That's right. And I know that does sound opposite, but that's what we're having to do in this market, and we just came out of that market a few months back too. A good comment I heard was, I want to sleep on it. Okay, if you want to sleep on it, you might not sleep in it. So, you kind of have to move a little faster in a market that just is faster. And that's why you as a realtor explaining the way the market is might help them to feel like they maybe need to pick up their pace.
All right, last, buyer remorse, and this is the number one on most buyers' lists when it comes to being remorseful about a purchase is they think they've paid too much for the home. And we've heard that a million times.
I think I felt that way on every one. Yeah.
Yep. So what are some things we can do in our conversations with clients to put them at ease for, I think they paid too much?
Well, I think in this market, you got it and 10 other people didn't. So did you really pay too much?
Yeah.
They might be paying even more later down the line than you just paid on this house. So I think one is that you got the house and all the people you competed with didn't, and they're out next weekend looking for more. So that could be one. Another one?
Well, I just think you have to remind them of the big picture and ask them, how long they intend on living in the house. If it's a year, well, I'm sorry, you might have paid too much for the house.
Right.
But most people's time horizon is much longer than that. Most average homeowners stay in their home 11 to 13 years now. So I think you just need to go back to the data and show them what home prices have done over time. And there's great charts out there with U.S. home prices showing what home prices have done over a 10-year period, over a decade. So. And then you can also pull local comps in the marketplace to show them they're within those comps.
Yeah.
And remember, you're not overpaying for a home if the appraiser agrees upon the value of the home.
That's right.
So I think it just gets back to the reason why they bought the house in the first place.
Yeah, and if you're comfortable, and this is all the way back to the beginning again too, if you're comfortable with that payment, and you're getting a house that you want, did you really pay too much to get both of those things?
That's right.
So, buying a house sometimes is a little uncomfortable, but in the long run, most people agree that it was the right thing to do.
That's right.
So,
well, thanks so much for watching the show today on buyer remorse. Hopefully it gave you some tips there and things to think about when you're having conversations with your clients. Check us out on next Friday's Ask the Broker show. We'll see you then.